The river flowed gracefully through a picturesque landscape, its waters shimmering under the sun. Tall trees lined the banks, their leaves rustling gently in the warm breeze. This beautiful river was known for its stunning views, drawing families and adventurers alike. Children often played along the shore while parents relaxed nearby, captivated by the soothing sounds of nature. However, beneath its serene surface lay powerful rapids that twisted and turned with fierce energy. The water cascaded over rocks, creating frothy white waves that could easily sweep away anything caught in their grip. Local residents were aware of this danger and often warned newcomers to stay vigilant near the water's edge. As people flocked to enjoy picnics and leisurely afternoons, they marveled at the heart of the river where it met a small island. This spot was a favorite for those who wanted to bask in nature's beauty while listening to the melodies of a river harpist who often played there. Her sweet tunes floated on the air, adding to the scene's enchantment. Yet, this idyllic setting would soon be overshadowed by a shocking event. The calming atmosphere transformed into chaos as an unexpected incident unfolded, forever changing how the community viewed its beloved river. Little did they know that on this fateful day, a heroic act would emerge from amidst the beauty and danger of their cherished waterway. On a bright afternoon, laughter filled the air as children played by the river's edge. Families laid out picnic blankets, and the sound of the river flowed beneath their conversations. Suddenly, amid the joy and laughter, a moment of horror struck like lightning. A piercing scream shattered the calm as a mother frantically searched for her baby, who had somehow slipped from her arms. In a heartbeat, the baby tumbled into the rushing water, the current strong and relentless. Panic gripped everyone nearby as eyes went wide in disbelief. The small figure of the baby was swallowed by the frothy waves, disappearing into the churning chaos. Parents shouted, urging each other to help, but fear held them back as they understood the turmoil of the rapids. Those who witnessed the incident felt their hearts race with urgency. Some rushed to the water's edge, while others grabbed their phones to call for help. In that moment of chaos, time seemed to freeze, every second stretching painfully longer. The river's roar drowned out cries of hope and worry, making the situation all the more terrifying. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a figure emerged from among the onlookers. The river harpist, known for her sweet music, sprang into action without a second thought. With courage surging through her veins, she dove into the turbulent waters, determined to save the innocent life caught in the grip of nature's fury. Her swift determination would soon change everything in that serene spot forever. The river harpist, known to the community as Lily, was a figure of grace and talent. With her long, flowing hair and gentle demeanor, she could often be seen seated on a smooth rock by the water, her fingers gliding over the strings of her harp. Her music brought joy to those who listened, filling the air with enchanting melodies that blended perfectly with the sounds of nature. Lily had always felt a deep connection to the river. Growing up in the nearby town, she spent countless hours there, learning about its beauty and its dangers. She understood how quickly the tranquil water could turn treacherous, and it was this awareness that fueled her bravery when she heard the mother's desperate scream. As chaos erupted around her, Lily's heart raced, not just from fear but from instinct. Without a moment's hesitation, she sprang into action. With her harp still in sight, a symbol of calm amidst turmoil, she dove into the swirling rapids. The cold water jolted her senses, but she focused on the mission at hand, saving the baby. Despite the strong current pulling at her, Lily swam with all her might, driven by an unwavering determination to reach the tiny figure struggling against the water. She could feel the force of the waves against her body, but each stroke brought her closer to the child in need. Her courage shone bright as she fought through fear and uncertainty, embodying hope in that critical moment. As Lily plunged into the rushing waters, the crowd of bystanders was left in a state of shock. Gasps filled the air as they processed what was happening. A mother's cries pierced through their disbelief, transforming the atmosphere from one of serene enjoyment to utter chaos. People stood frozen for a moment, watching with wide eyes as the scene unfolded before them. Then, as reality sank in, panic spread like wildfire. Some rushed to the water's edge, their hearts pounding with fear for both the baby and the brave harpist who had dared to dive in. Others fumbled for their phones, attempting to call for help while shouting encouragement to Lily. "You can do it," they cried out, their voices a mix of hope and desperation. Admiration for Lily began to swell within the crowd. They remembered her gentle smile and soothing music that had always brought them peace. Now, she was their hero, risking her life to save another. Amidst the fear, there were whispers of bravery and courage as people pointed her out, realizing how quickly she had acted without a second thought. As moments ticked by, feelings shifted from panic to awe. The onlookers felt a deep connection to Lily's selfless act and found themselves rooting for her success against the raging current. Their hearts collectively held breath as they watched, united in their hope for a miracle amidst the chaos of that sunny afternoon. As the harrowing rescue concluded, the atmosphere was thick with relief and tension, but for the mother of the baby, the chaos was far from over. Once her child was safely brought back to shore, she rushed toward Lily, her face etched with panic and gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you," she cried, tears streaming down her face. However, her frantic behavior quickly raised eyebrows among the bystanders and authorities who had gathered. While the crowd celebrated Lily's bravery, the mother's distress escalated. Distraught and overwhelmed, she began pacing back and forth along the riverbank, her mind racing as shock set in. Witnesses noted that instead of staying with her child, she tried to push through the crowd to get to Lily, her emotions boiling over into near hysteria. Some bystanders attempted to comfort her, but she seemed lost in her own turmoil. Due to her actions during the incident and the immediate aftermath, law enforcement began to question her. They learned that just before the accident, she had been engrossed in a conversation with friends and hadn't been watching her child. Authorities deemed her carelessness as negligence and arrested her on suspicion of kidnapping, a charge stemming from concerns about her ability to care for her child safely. This unexpected turn left the community reeling, grappling with both the heroic act of Lily and the unsettling situation surrounding the mother. It stirred up conversations about parenting responsibilities and the fine line between accidents and preventable tragedies. The community's response to the dramatic events surrounding the river rescue was profound and polarized. In the days following the rescue, support for Lily, the courageous harpist, flooded in from every corner of the town. News of her bravery spread quickly through social media, with residents sharing stories of her kindness and musical talents. People gathered at the riverbank to thank her and honor what she had done. Local businesses began displaying signs that read, "Hero of the River," in support of her act of bravery. Conversely, there was also growing concern for the mother, whose distressing situation became a topic of conversation throughout the community. Many felt compassion for her, understanding that accidents can happen to anyone. While some debated her negligence, others advocated for understanding and empathy. They organized community meetings to discuss how parents could better educate themselves about child safety near water. Devoted friends started a petition asking for leniency regarding her charges, highlighting that a moment of distraction does not define a parent's capability. The town seemed divided but united in a shared desire to learn from this incident. As discussions unfolded, residents expressed hopes to transform this tragedy into a chance for growth, raising awareness about water safety while celebrating Lily's heroism. They recognized that while negligence should be addressed, compassion for the mother was equally vital, fostering a dialogue about second chances and parental support in overcoming moments of crisis. In the wake of the rescue and the mother's arrest, authorities launched a thorough investigation to understand the circumstances surrounding the incident. They interviewed witnesses, including bystanders who had seen the baby fall into the river and those who had rushed to assist afterward. Many described the mother's frantic behavior, noting her distraction during a conversation with friends just moments before the accident occurred. Investigators also reviewed any available video footage from nearby cameras that might have captured the scene. This footage provided clearer insight into how quickly events unfolded. It showed that while the mother was engaged in conversation, her baby crawled too close to the water's edge, ultimately leading to the tragic fall. The evidence indicated that there was no malicious intent, rather, it was a heart-wrenching accident that could happen to any parent. Authorities also looked into the mother's history and background. They found that she had been a devoted and caring parent, known in the community for her involvement in local events. However, her moment of negligence raised serious questions about child safety practices among parents in general. As the investigation proceeded, it became clear that while the mother would face consequences for her actions, many believed that education and prevention were far more critical than punishment. Discussions began to emerge about offering resources and workshops for parents on keeping children safe near water, hoping to turn this tragedy into an opportunity for learning and improvement within the community. In the wake of the turmoil surrounding the river incident, a striking symbol emerged on the dock, a gallows constructed from weathered wood. This unintended monument reflected the deep-seated anger and confusion brewing within the community. Resembling something from a bygone era, the gallows stood tall against the backdrop of the serene river, drawing both attention and concern from passers-by. This somber structure was not meant for any true punishment but rather served as a visual representation of the mixed feelings toward the mother charged with kidnapping. Some people were outraged by her apparent carelessness, believing she deserved severe consequences for her actions, while others viewed it as a desperate cry for clarity in an unpredictable situation. The gallows became a focal point for passionate discussions about accountability, negligence, and parenting. Volunteers who raised the gallows hoped to evoke dialogue around child safety and highlight the tragic outcome of the incident. Many stood before it, contemplating its meaning. It sparked debates about justice and compassion within the community. While some argued for tough love and penalties to deter negligence, others insisted that support and education were more effective paths forward. As conversations swirled around this symbolic dockside gallows, it became clear that emotions ran high, reflecting not just anger but also a longing for understanding in navigating difficult circumstances. The gallows hovered over the river like a dark cloud, reminding everyone that beneath its peaceful surface lay complexities that warranted both reflection and action. As discussions within the community continued to evolve, varying perspectives on parenting and child safety emerged in light of the tragic river incident. Many parents expressed a newfound awareness of the dangers posed by bodies of water, emphasizing the need for constant supervision, especially in settings that seem safe at first glance. They shared personal stories about their own close calls, acknowledging that even a moment of distraction could lead to dire consequences. Some residents argued that the responsibility lay solely with the mother, calling for stricter enforcement of child safety measures and advocating for public awareness campaigns about the risks of being near water. They believed that stringent guidelines could prevent such accidents from occurring in the future, stressing that parents must always be vigilant. Conversely, others advocated for a more compassionate viewpoint, highlighting that accidents can happen to anyone. They encouraged open dialogues about the pressures parents face and how easy it can be to become distracted in social situations. Supporters of this perspective suggested implementing community programs focused on education rather than blame, aiming to equip parents with skills and knowledge to better protect their children. Amidst these discussions, many recognized the importance of fostering an inclusive environment where parents could learn from one another's experiences without fear of judgment. Ultimately, the incident served as a catalyst for broader conversations about parental responsibilities, community support, and how best to safeguard children from preventable tragedies near water. In the wake of the river incident, the community found itself at a crossroads, grappling with lessons of heroism and responsibility. Lily, the river harpist, emerged not just as a savior but as a symbol of courage that inspired many. Her selfless act reminded everyone that true bravery can shine through in moments of crisis, showcasing how one person's quick thinking can change the course of lives. However, the incident also illuminated the complexities of parenthood and the pressures families face in everyday life. While some viewed the mother's actions as negligent, others recognized her humanity and the potential for anyone to make split-second decisions that lead to unforeseen consequences. This duality highlighted a crucial need for understanding and support within the community. As discussions and reflections continued, it became clear that communities thrive on connection during challenging times. The varied perspectives shared among residents fostered a greater sense of unity and awareness. Parents began to openly discuss their experiences, knowing they were not alone in their struggles. Ultimately, This incident catalyzed an urgent conversation about child safety around water, leading to initiatives aimed at educating families on prevention strategies. With newfound hope, the community took steps toward healing and growth, realizing that through adversity comes an opportunity for learning. As they stood together by the river, once a place of turmoil, it transformed into a symbol of resilience, reminding everyone that in moments of crisis, compassion and collective strength can pave the way for a brighter future.